Welcome back to Court Clips. I'm Divinity. We are not even in court about this yet, but I'm still going to talk about it. So I clipped Matt. This is about tenant media. I clipped Matt Christensen talking about it the other day. He has made another video talking about it. I found it interesting, and by 40 minutes, I found it disingenuous. For the record, I never watched Matt Christensen before this, so I don't know what that says about me or him or anyone, but we'll hear what he has to say.
Because as we discussed, they at the investor's direction, they hired a Russian marketing firm to handle the social media.
Okay.
What are they talking about here? They're talking about hiring a producer in that arena. It seems very plausible to me that they're talking about the Russians at the social media company they were directed by the investor to hire.
Right, yeah.
Now, again, we might think that that's foolish. That's not wise. But does that tell me that they knew that Edward Gregorian, their French investor, was...
He's looking at their proof. What is their proof that they worked with Russians? That Liam and Lauren knew that they were working with these Russians. And that was one of them, because they said that we're going to talk to the Russians and ask the Russians. But he's like, that was something else. No big deal. The second one, though, was interesting.
Not, in fact, that person. That doesn't prove that to me at all. That just means one time they ambiguously referred to somebody or a group of people as the Russians. That doesn't tell me, hey, I know our investor is Russian, but we're going to pretend he's French. It doesn't say that at all. So there's a problem there. They also say that there's evidence that Lauren and Liam knew, because Liam once Googled time in Moscow.
See how he clipped through those? 1, 2, 3. This is actually the third page. So when I was going through this before I got here with y'all, I paused those 2 pages and I read them. And it says, they're just talking about work. With your help, scope of the work will grow substantially. So one of their commentators is really that Lauren's trying to hire, or one of them are trying to hire, is skeptical, and they want to know more about this fake guy, but they don't know he's fake. This Giorgiano guy, the French investor.
Let's see. Do I not have that one either? I think I forgot to grab a bunch of these screenshots. Prepping for this show is just
so. This is when he's going to go through and do a search.
When I'm, my mind's distracted with a million other things. Moscow. Let me find the exact point in the indictment here.
So all these different parts. On about April 21st. Founder 1 Google searched for the Edward Gregorian. He's looking for Edward with the bank. As of August 2024, neither Google search resulted in anything or anyone by that name. On April 25th, founder said person 1 emailed one of the Russians and said that commentator 1 was really interested on seeing some material, profile, article, whatever, on Edward before they would feel comfortable moving forward. So one of their creators is like, who's the money coming from? So if someone out there is telling you that Lauren and Liam had it was weird to question, which is what Matt started this video saying, like, what else would you ask? These are my friends. I would never ask for more. And then the girl on top was like, I haven't known Lauren for 8 years. Like, I've never met her in person, but she would never do something like this. How the fuck do you know? You never even met this human being. You know them online. Everyone's capable of anything. So silly and naive, but this is your homie, so bring out the brooms. We'll keep reading. So, if you've read the indictment or had it read to you, a lot of stuff in it, it's like, oh, so they clearly had questions about what's going on. They were trying to find this guy also. They didn't find this guy and proceeded forward anyway. That's a problem.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay, before he read this, I read it. So let me read it to you. Founder 2 also used investor Discord channel. Earlier in this document, they say that they're all on Discord together. They made a private channel in which the 2 Russians, Kalashnikov, which had their name was like Kalashna_K or something like that. Easily identifiable. They were in a Discord channel that was private for investors. That's all it was for. So this is saying Founder 2 also used the investor Discord channel to, among other things, submit US Company 1's invoices to the Russians and to press for payment for those invoices. For example, on September 11th at 8 p.m., Liam or Lauren wrote in the investor Discord channel, what does it say? Quote, "Today marks 2 weeks since I submitted the invoice for August. Any idea for the delay? We are signing the large contracts and need to be certain we will get the funding to pay these people." Person 1 Russians didn't immediately respond. While waiting reply from them, the founder searched for then current time in Moscow. Specifically at approximately 8:50 p.m. Central on September 11th, founder searched Google time in Moscow. The time was, in fact, approximately 4:50 a.m. Approximately 3 days later, on September 14th, founder followed up. So they're in Discord, sending each other invoices and following up in Discord. These are red flags, y'all. Discord is not a place for doing big business. It's just not. It's not where you send your, where's your fucking email? What's happening here? And then to realize, oh, they're not answering me because it's only 4:50 in the morning in Moscow. Don't tell me you don't know these people are in Moscow, but we'll hear. So I read that, just read it over him because I didn't know he was going to stop here. So I thought this is another page that he was going to skip past, and I just kind of wanted to read it with my own eyeballs. But he doesn't. Listen to how this goes down in Matt's world.
So here's the relevant paragraph, or the relevant section. Liam is this is last September, so a year ago. He's emailing the investor's representative because he submitted an invoice to the investor for services they've provided.
Well, that sounds really professional, except for that's not what this paragraph says at all. He didn't email anyone. He Discord messaged somebody on a private channel about an invoice that he Discord messaged somebody in a private channel. So right away, you might not notice that was a broad sweeping of this entire paragraph to make it sound professional when it's in fact nothing like that.
And he doesn't get a response. And 45 minutes later, he then Googles time in Moscow. So this we're supposed to take as evidence that he knows that the investor is Moscow-based or in Moscow. Okay. But some considerations. He Googled time is Moscow on September 11th, 2023. Number one, without any other context, there could be plenty of reasons Liam might Google Moscow time.
This isn't the first time, remember. This is the second time that we're making up for no other reason. Maybe they're just curious about what time it is in Russia. This is the second I started this 40. So in 2 minutes, we're making up a second excuse while in this time frame, during this time, while communicating with these people that we've subsequently found out are Russian, they try to figure out what time it was for them to see if they should be getting correspondence yet. Come on, Matt.
45 minutes later. Lauren and Liam worked for RT for, I think, a couple of years or a year or so prior to all of this. And then RT was banned in the US or whatever.
So what?
All of that. But they surely have friends in Moscow.
Oh.
You may not like that, but it's not a crime. There are all kinds of reasons why they might.
Maybe they should ask their friend what time it is. But they're not. They're directly trying to figure out when they're going to get paid because they're doing business. Come on. This is so weak. This makes Matt look guilty. He should stop talking. My advice to Matt, the girl hasn't said much, but so far just to Matt is just shut the fuck up. This is not good. You're saying you've said too much. And this is obviously good intentions. You've been on the internet long enough. You're in Discords, right? You know where good intentions lead every single time. Stop talking.
Might talk to this person or that person. You're allowed to do that. Even if Liam was thinking of the investor, though, the investor's in Moscow. That's why I did the search, is because the investor's in Moscow. Well, did he have reason to believe that his investor was in Moscow for some other reason? Remember, as far as their mindset is concerned, this investor is supposedly a French businessman based in Paris.
That he
but he's
can't
got investments globally. He's got things
that he can't find. He can't find him attached to the bank he says he works at. He can't find him attached to any investment in the history of ever. There's no profile for him. He's a ghost on the internet. But okay, Matt, tell us more. And hold on, let me back up a second. Did she just take a drink out of an empty thing? I gotta see it.
Well, did he have reason to believe that his
Yes, she did. That's funny. I don't care who you are. All right, that's it. I just watched that part and wanted to tell Matt, stop sweeping for this trash. This isn't good.
Just a friendly reminder from an actual attorney. Shut the fuck up.